Good morning, Friday, March 29th. This is SimWorld today. I am Marsh, joined as I am every Friday by our main man with a bonnet, Rick Blaze. Morning, Rick. How you doing?
Hello, hello, Marsh. I'm doing very
Nothing
well.
to come back with. I like it.
It's
I'm,
coming. I'm coming to
I'm,
you
I'm,
live and direct from my house. He's coming to you live and direct from an 8x10. That's the only
we're
difference
doing
we
our
have.
time. We're
Let's keep
doing
it
our
popping.
time, man. We're doing our time. We're doing
Don't do
this
the time.
mother.
Let the time do you.
Well, we'll talk about doing some time here in just one moment. Don't you worry about it. We're gonna start though with
You
SWBA.
about to have a cellmate?
I think I might. Hey, at least we'll have something to talk about, something to do. But we're gonna start with SWBA. Atlanta Hawks. They took down the Boston Celtics for the second time in 3 games. They've won 4 in a row. They're doing all of this without Trey Young. Dejounte Murray, 44 shots, game winner with point 0.1 left in overtime. Do we think the Hawks have a different guy they need to be leaning on for the future of this organization, and it's not one that's actually suiting up right now?
No. This is a short term. The team rallying around. Now, Jamonte Murray they when they got him and paid him for a reason because he can hoop. But this is a short term. The team is rallying around, getting their moxie up. But to say that this team is better than without Trey Young is preposterous. To put it lightly, to say that someone else on the team should be leading the team aside from Trey Young, it's preposterous to put it lightly. So no, that's not no. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Trey Young is still that guy. Um, Now, if you want to go a different direction, I'm sure you can get a nice package for Trey Young, but there's no one currently on the team for the Atlanta Hawks that's a Trey Young replacement. No.
Not even the man that just scored the game winner with point 0.1 seconds left, Dejounte Murray. Not even
Very good
Dejounte Murray.
player. Very good player. I like him. He's not a Trey Young.
Here's this what this reminds me of. This reminds me of the Chicago Bulls and the Minnesota Timberwolves when they had Jimmy Butler on their team. And the sense was, and then even all the way down to Philadelphia, Jimmy Butler is not an elite basketball player in the normal sense. He is an elite basketball player, but in the normal sense of LeBron James, of Kevin Durant, of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, pick your top guys. Jimmy Butler's not that guy. What he is, though, is a difference maker based off the way he plays the game of basketball and the mentality he approaches it with. He's a two-way scorer. He has flaws in his game, but in big moments, those flaws for Jimmy, it's a three-point shot and just suddenly disappear. That's what we've seen from Dejounte Murray. He has, for lack of a better term, he's got that dog in him. He is out there doing the work. Trey Young is a great basketball player. You are not
Hmm.
wrong in that instance. But what he can't do is play defense unless he's guarding Ben Simmons, and then he's the most ferocious defender known to the SWBA. But if I'm looking at the future of this team, I think you can get a better trade package for Trey Young if you're going to make a move and say, hey, yeah, maybe Dejounte Murray from game 1 through 65 isn't an elite guy, but from 66 to 82, and then for the final 16, he's a difference maker. He's a two-way point guard. He's a playmaker. He's an elite defender when he's on his game. If I can go out and get better shooters. I've got Jalen Johnson on the wing. Can I get a second wing to add in? What can I get out of Trey Young? In my opinion, that's where I'm going with Atlanta, just because we've actually seen this team rallying around Murray in a way that I don't know we've necessarily seen them rally around Trey Young.
Well, that brings up a good point. I don't know the locker room situation, right? Maybe Murray is a better guy, better locker room guy. Maybe the teammates find him to be more, inviting in the locker room than Trey Young. I don't know. But I do know this. You know you're a great player and you know you're a difference maker when other teams start game planning for you. Guys are not game planning for Jamonte Murray. Say what you want to say. No one's saying if we could just stop Jamonte, we got a chance. No one's saying that. They do say that about Trey Young. Now, whether the team comes out with the victory or not is a whole nother story. The chemistry between the guys is a whole nother story, and I will give you that. Maybe the chemistry with those other 11 guys, with Jamonte Murray leading them, maybe that's a better fit. But we're talking about just talent. Jamonte Murray is not as talented as Trey Young. Now, Trey Young doesn't play both ways, but most guys today doesn't play both ways. I can, I can. That's 70, 75, 80% of the league at this point in time. But I do like Jamonte Murray. I do think if you want to keep Jamonte Murray and maybe you want to, like you said, do a trade package, and you should get a nice package for Trey Young if that's the direction you guys want to go. But you're telling your fans we potentially are looking to maybe starting this thing over again or taking a step back to propel ourselves forward. Hopefully, it's a gamble, but
Well, I don't think it's a step back if they're going to go to Murray as the top guy, and I think he's kind of been a victim of playing his career in San Antonio, where there was never much attention to him from a
it's
national
just like
public.
Compton. I get that.
I, I don't
I'm
even know
sorry,
the
I tell you
reference right over top. But from in San Antonio, where there's not a lot of attention to him, to Atlanta, where he was the number two build actor on this team. I also appreciate that we got like five different pronunciations out of you of his first name, from Javante. Okay, we'll work on that
I'm a
one.
man. I'm a man of the people. What can I
I
say?
many of them. Let's
Many.
move to a man of something as the breaking news that comes out yesterday is broken by SB Live. SimWorld Hoops, not even SimWorld Prep, has suspended Trey Hyman indefinitely with a quote, and according to the article, slim to none chance that Trey Hyman ever suits up in SimWorld Hoops again for illegally betting on games. Trey Hyman is a casualty of the controversy that has embroiled Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers, whose translator was also engaged in betting supposedly with a California-based sports bookie. Hyman's name came up on that. Let's start with Hyman. This is a
Wow.
disastrous look for an individual that I was looking at his box scores yesterday to kind of see, because they start saying, hey, he bet his over under on 17 and a half and he scored 15 on March 9. Like, what other games was he having? Was he trying to do it maliciously? Like, was he having bad nights intentionally because of stuff? And he wasn't, at least that we could tell. He was cooking 32 points, 28 points. He was having huge nights. And yet, at the end of the day, he made 96 bets and has $104,000 owed to the sports bookie. This is a stunning move. It's terrible for Bay Area that this was the centerpiece of their organization, and his future is most clearly done in SimWorld Hoops.
Bro, this is this is like gigantic for SimWorld Prep. This is you talking about one of the guys who looked at clearly as one of the faces of SimWorld Prep basketball. I mean, a top five guy. It's an unfortunate situation because we see it more often than we should. Guys who doing a little too much extracurricular activities, trying to. I don't know his financial situation, his family situation. I don't know any of those things. But my biggest takeaway from this is, bro, you wasn't good at the betting though. You
That's
only
the
got
best part.
27 of them correct. Says at some point you should say, man, I need to stop. I suck at it. You betting the over under on yourself and you letting yourself down.
It, it's
Like
uh, it's shocking.
it. I am not an advocate of betting, especially underage, especially against the sports. But there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, and you doing wrong the wrong way. That's just. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I don't know if I'm more mad that he was betting or the fact that he was losing so many damn bets. I don't know which one I'm more upset about.
Yeah.
He
So
just kept betting and kept losing.
for clarity, because
I
I
just
think
hate losers,
I
no
saw
matter
some,
what.
I saw some conversation that they thought he won. He did not win 27,000. He won 27 of his 96 bets. That's it. So he is in
That's
the
terrible.
red, 104 grand. Look
Wow.
here. I'll place a couple $5, $20 wagers every now and again. I'm not on the scale of Trey Hyman, but when I lose two bets in a row, I go,
It's a wrap.
man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Hey, that's $20. This man is out here putting up $1,500 and getting it dead wrong.
Oh,
Upwards of 10,000
oh,
was the largest bet he placed.
oh
Look,
my gosh.
this is the challenge with sports betting in America today, and it is getting plastered all over the place. And it is painted in such a rosy picture because you've got accounts on Instagram that'll put together these nice little $10 parlay turns into $15,000, or $100,000 turns into 3 million. And all these people see that and they go, I could do that. Like, come on, picking the Rangers to win the World Series last year. Like, come on, I could have done that. And then they start putting money that's well out of their availability, because you can just link bank accounts, you can link Venmo accounts to a lot of these. Like, it's very easy to put together an avenue where you're gathering funds that you don't have. And so for these, it's obvious it was only a matter of time before it percolated to the youth level, but it's incredibly disappointing for a player of Trey Hyman's stature. You had
Absolutely.
this money waiting. It's just the same thing with Shohei Ohtani. You had this money waiting for you. Like, all you
Absolutely.
had to do was stay on the right track, and that money was yours.
Trey
Why are
Hyman had
we
about two
losing
more.
it now?
He had about 2 more years before he got his check legally. He had
Not
about two
even
more
one
years
year.
max, max 2 years. Yeah, maybe a year, a full calendar year. He had a full calendar year before he started getting his money. This It's an unfortunate situation. May it be a lesson learned to all the kids out there. Don't bet on it.
Don't
Just
bet
don't
on
bet
it.
on it.
So
Don't bet
we
on it.
did have SimWorld prep action. So if you fast forwarded through any of that, welcome back. OGs, they get the big win. Cooper Flag, 32 points. They beat Gulf Coast. I don't know what's more impressive, the offense for OGs, 32 from Flag, or the defense. Kai Killens, 8 of 18. Ezekiel Bull does end up with 14 for them, but a really great defensive effort. I know they dropped 76, but to really put the onus on players other than Kai Killens for Gulf Coast to win that basketball game, that's what they did. And OGs continues to show up and just say, hey, look, we might have one star, but we can put together incredible runs when we need to.
Yep. Now, yesterday some things came out, on about, Coach Dodge not getting her just due and stuff like this. So let me give it to you right now. Let me say it right now for everybody to hear. I don't want nobody talking about Coach Dodge ain't woo 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 because she ain't dancing and making noises and all. Hey, she did a fantastic adjustment second half when she put Cooper Flag on Kai Killens. Kai Killens had about 14 points the first half. He had 3 points the second half because Cooper Flag, she switched and put Cooper Flag on Kai Killens, who made shots difficult for him. That was a great coach adjustment by Coach Dodge. Coach Heesh should have made a different adjustment. He did not. And I believe if Coach Dodge does not make that adjustment, Gulf Coast comes out with the win on yesterday. Great adjustment by Coach Dodge. Coach Heach couldn't counter that successfully, and as a result, this is how coaching counts for wins for teams. It helped prepare originators for that victory on yesterday.
What I love most about this team is they've just gotten production out of dudes. And so, real quick before we get to our wrap up, Kamari Ward's last 4 games: 20 points, 14 points, 16 points, 15 points. He'd scored more than 7 points. You're going to hear this again probably on Monday. He'd scored more than 7 points all season 3 times, never more than 10 points all year long. Last 4 games, he's gone for double figures. I think that's the biggest part of that group. But we're going to get to the other ones first. So our SimWorld Prep wrap-up, we're going to start with our noon game over in South America, where Bad Boys, 17-5-8 from Samuel Baugus, 73-55 win on the road.
The originators and Gulf Coast lockdown, we talked about it. Gulf Coast had the game in hand, but the originators snatched it out of their grabs late, 80-76. OGs win.
DMV and ATLians in what could not be classified as an offensive showdown, 59-56, DMV on top. Nick Beal, the leading scorer for DMV, with 10.
And Best Coast, Latin America, Best Coast come out with a close win, much needed win. Chopper did his thing, Chopper style, 79-75, Best Coast over Latin America.
And then our last one, Rocky Mountain, showing a little bit of defense, holding the reigning Trays to just 65 points. Japheth Towns, 9 of 30 shooting in that one, but it's 8 or 16 from Justin Bell. Rocky Mountain gets the win. They get to 10-12 on the season. All right, that is our show for today. We do return for a little special Friday night action on SimWorld TV doubleheader. ATLians Queen City Kings at 8 o'clock, Bay Area Cascadia, our game of the week, which just got a heck of a lot more exciting based off yesterday's
Absolutely.
news at 9 p.m. Some other games on local broadcasts. We'll be back on Monday here on SimWorld TV. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned this afternoon for some games. We'll talk to you Monday. And as always, SimWorld Prep, where you can always see the game, be the game.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.